Good. Okay. I'm going to ask you questions about your homework. This one, the past tense. You might want to take it out. Alright. We're working on using the past tense because we use it a lot in biography. We're talking about the past. Arnold, how are you? Give yourself a tick. Write that question, get the answer down into your book. Michelle, where were you born? Okay. Timothy, where were you born? Good. Be confident. Yo-yo. Where were you born? Good. Give yourself a tick. Now, Angus, when were you born? Okay, let's try that again. Brenda, when were you born? You were born in 1995. Good. Give yourself a tick. Write that question. Write the answer down. Eric, when were you born? Give yourself a tick. All right. Carrie, when did you begin school? Give yourself a tick. Now, Derek, when did you begin primary school?
I began primary school when I was about 6 years old.
Give yourself a tick. Now, write the question, write the answer down. Elaine, when did you begin secondary school? Give yourself a tick. I began university in 1999. When you guys were 4 years old, I began university. Next. Haley, who did you meet in primary school? Give yourself a tick. Write the question, write the answer down. Kimmel, who have you met in secondary school? Give yourself a tick. Alice, who have you met in secondary school? Give yourself a tick. Write the question, write the answer down. Next. Here we go. We're going to talk about important things in biography. Alright? Now, Bonnie, if we were writing about your life, your biography, what is one important thing, what important topic we would talk about? Good. Give yourself a tick. So, in your biography, you talk about your family. Aaron, what else do you talk about in your biography? Your biography. You have your family. What else about your life? Good. So, give yourself a tick. Natalie, your primary school, your secondary school, your classmates, your school life, what is that called? That is, what topic is that? That is
the background information.
It is background information for some people. But Tim, for you guys, is that background information? Your school life, is that your background information about your life? No, it's not. It's very important. That's what you are right now. You are just students. Your entire life is school life right now. So it's very, very important. This education, right? Education, your school life, your classmates, your teachers, primary school, secondary school, kindergarten. All of this is your education. But, Karis, for Albert Einstein, is education important? Is school life, is it important or is it background, do you think? Alright, so for Albert Einstein, maybe for him, his school life, his classmates are background. It's background information. Next, let's go over this. That's about it, right? Good. Ready? Sound. Let's try this. Stand up and greet the principal.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Miss Sarah.
Ready, Prudence. Oh, what is that? That is? Give yourself a tick. 10. If I add a to the end of throat, what do I get? Give yourself a tick. Sound. Good. Next, Sandy. If I change the to a book, what do I get? Okay, let's try that again. Dexter. If I change the to in throats to a book, what do I get? Okay, let's try it one more time. Mandy. Throats. I change the to a book. What do I get? Yes, Cherry. Give yourself a tick. Now, let's do this. Fellow, how many sounds are in boats? There are. There are 3 sounds in boats. Let's try that again. Eric, how many sounds are in boats? Give yourself a tick. Mandy, what's the first in boat? Give yourself a tick. Cherry, what's the last sound in boats? Listen carefully. Tommy, what's the last sound in boats? Listen carefully to me. Vanessa, what is the last sound in boats? Give yourself a tick. What is this? Boats. Slowly, what's this? Boats. What is this over here? What is this over here? Next. Boys and girls, make sure you have your Marie Curie passage out. Dexter, can you do me a favor? read this aloud. What's going on? What's happening? No, I don't want you to pass it up. Have it out. Not hand it in. Alright? We're going to go over it now. I wanted this morning your other worksheet. Thank you. Yeah. That's a problem. Should have gotten it on Friday. No, should have gotten it Tuesday. Boys and girls, while we're reading this aloud with the answers, consider what topics we're talking about in each paragraph. So again, like we've done for our other biographies, while we're reading, we want to focus on what topics we have in each paragraph. Maybe you want to write it down in the margin. Alright? So when they talk about family, you might want to write family down. Alright? I'll start. Marie Curie. Marie Curie. Yes, I'll read it aloud. We're going to go around the room. Marie Curie was born in England in 1867. She had 3 sisters and a brother. Marie's father taught science and her mom ran a small school. Boys and girls, what are we talking about here? Now raise your hand, Vanessa. Good. So, in the first paragraph, we're talking about the family and the birthdays. Next, Vanessa, do me a favor. Read the second paragraph. When Marie was.
When Marie was 8, the sister
Sophie. Good.
2 years later,
Her mother died. Good.
Marie and the whole family were very sad.
Alright, so Marie and the whole family were very sad. What are we talking about in this paragraph? Yes, John. Okay, we're still talking about the family. Ready, John. Marie was clever at her studies. In 1890, good. So they were free to read what they wanted, and then she began her studies. So what are we starting to talk about here? Yes, Dexter. Okay, so we're talking about education now. Dexter, in July 1893, when Marie was 26, she... Oh, good. Good. Gain.
Her second degree in maths and passed her future husband.
Yeah. French name.
Correct. Yeah. They married a year later. They both loved and grew together.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? Okay, we'll do Carrie first, then we'll move down the line. So one thing we're talking about here is marriage. Give yourself a tick. What else are we talking about here? Yes, Stephanie. Excuse me? Good. We're still talking about education with a bit of marriage mixed in. Give yourself a tick. Yes, Eric? Huh? Awards? Yes, it's education. In education, you are awarded degrees. But I think here we're just talking about education, right, before we get to other awards. Eric, continue for us. In 1897.
1897,
Good. Good. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about maybe a few things, Yo-Yo and then Cecily. So we're talking about family, okay? We're still talking about family, but what else are we talking about? The last sentence. Good. Her later work? Okay, so her early work. Give yourself a tick. So we're talking about her family and her early work. Stephanie, just at the same time. Good. Okay, hold on a second. The rays were able to pass right through the body and show all the bones inside. He, Stephanie. Good. But hold on, there's a typo here. How many rays? Should it be just one X-ray? X-rays. There's a typo in here. That last word should be X-rays. More than one, obviously. All right? So, what are we talking about here? Yes, John? It's a discovery. Is it Marie Curie's discovery? Is it her discovery? No, it's not. Give yourself a tick. So this isn't really about her life. What is this then? We talked about it yesterday. Yes, Natalie?
Background information.
Good. Give yourself a tick. So this is background information for her life. Something that will happen to her. You need to know about the background information for her life. Something that will happen to her. You need to know about this first, this discovery. Natalie, continue.
Soon afterwards, a French scientist discovered
Good.
that
uranium
also produced the same rays, but he did not investigate
Good.
further.
All right, so what are we talking about here? Carrie. The past tense verbs. A French scientist discovered, right? As Natalie said. A French scientist discovered. So this paragraph talks about which topic? What are we talking about here? Yes, Kibble? Okay, so again, background information. Give yourself a tick. We have background information. And again, another discovery, right? So these two paragraphs have been discoveries, background information. So obviously from here, boys and girls, if the author gives us two paragraphs of background information on discoveries, then obviously you can guess, right? What will Marie Curie do? What will she do? Yes, Eric?
Work on those.
Yes, she will make her own discovery. Give yourself a tick. So if in a biography, obviously, if you have paragraphs, background information about discoveries, other people's discoveries, perhaps this has something to do with her life. She will make a discovery as well. All right, let's keep moving. Stephanie, do it for me again. Marie.
Mary worked on discovery. She discovered two radioactive
Good. Good. Polony. Good. So now here we are. Like we said before, you can guess, right, Eric? What are we talking about here? Good. Give yourself a tick. Yes. Listen carefully. Marie worked on his discovery. Whose discovery? Yes, Dexter. Marie is a girl. Look at number 28. Marie worked on his discovery. Whose discovery? Yes, Brenda. Good. Give yourself a tick. All right. So the French scientist was a boy. All right. So Marie worked on his discovery. Brenda, by 1902. Cared. past tense. She talked. Good. There. Even. All right, so by 1902, listen carefully, Marie had finally produced or prepared some radio. Okay, produced or prepared, it's up to you. They're more or less the same. And then the following year, she got her doctorate in science. By the way, who won the Nobel Prize last week, Dexter? I asked you guys, who won the Nobel Prize last week? That Guaylo, that American. Who won it? I'll give you extra credit. Just tell me in a minute. All right, Eric? Reveal it to us in a minute. This paragraph, what are we talking about here? Yes, we'll go Dexter. Excuse me? Okay. So we're talking about number 1, awards. Give yourself a tick. What else are we talking about here? We talk about many things in this paragraph. They mention a lot of information. Yes, Yo-Yo. Okay, so we're still talking about the awards, right? The Nobel Prize, a very popular award. There's all kinds of information in here, in this paragraph. We're talking about awards. What else is she doing in this paragraph, Carrie? Oh, good. Excellent. Give yourself a tick. So she's still discovering things, right? And then the following year, she got her doctorate in science. What are we talking about here? Doctorate. PhD. Yes, Natalie?
Education.
Good. Give yourself a tick. So this paragraph talks about a lot of different things. Her discovery, her education, and the awards. Natalie, but in 1906?
But in 1906,
Pierre
died
Good.
Wrote Esther.
Good.
Mary was very sad. Yes, she continued with her work.
All right, so what are we talking about here, Stephanie? Her family, okay, her marriage, her family. Not only that, but this is very important. Give yourself a tip. What else are we talking about specifically, Carrie? Marie's work. Okay, we're still talking about her work. Give yourself a tick, Kate. Her accent, which leads to what? This is very important, Natalie.
Her husband's death date.
Good. Give yourself a tick. So we're talking about death here, right? Remember, that's important too. We're talking about her family, more specifically about her marriage, even more specifically about death. All right? Yet she continues to work. She's a hard-working girl. Keith, Gwen Marie. Good. Wow. All right, so Keith, what are we talking about here? All right, her awards. She's winning a lot of awards. Yes, Yo-Yo. All right, her discovery. We're still talking about her discovery indirectly, right? Because of her discoveries, we're winning awards, aren't we? But perhaps most importantly, she's receiving more awards for her discoveries. By the way, Eric, who won the Nobel Prize last week? Okay, while we're waiting. Yo-Yo. 3 years later. War. Pro. Good. Units. Who. Soldiers. Alright, tricky words. Marie set up mobile X-ray units. 3 years later. So what are we talking about now? After all of the awards, what is she still doing? Is she discovering things now? Yes, all right, we're still talking about her work. Her early work? Significant later work. All right? It's potentially background information. It's not the most important thing, right? So we only have 2 lines for this. All right. I'll continue. Marie's health got worse. She had radiation sickness because she did not wear protective clothing when she worked with radioactive material. Marie died at the age of 66 in 1934. She was the greatest woman scientist of her time. These last 2 paragraphs deal with something very important, and usually it's found at the end. What are we discussing here, Haley? Yes. Give yourself a tick. Now, who here says this is background information? I don't know. Who says this is significant? Who says this is important? All right. Now, why do you think this is important? Why is her death important? We talked about how some people, like Albert Einstein's death, it's not important at all. But her death is important. How do you know it's important, Angus? Okay, give yourself a tick. But Albert Einstein was like the greatest male scientist of his time, and when he died, he only got 1 line in his biography. He died. All right, let's try Michelle, sorry. Give yourself a tick. She died because of her work. Her work killed her. It actually killed her. The radium, right, she wasn't wearing protective clothing, yet she kept working with it. It's like playing with a bomb. And eventually it, boom, blew up inside of her. She died. Alright? So it's important because her discovery killed her. But take a look at this, alright? Just look at the biography too. How else do you know her death is important? Even if you don't understand all of the words, well, how do you know that this death is significant compared to Albert Einstein's death? They both died, but what about her biography? Yes, Eric? Yeah, give yourself a tick. They gave 2 paragraphs to her about her death. Albert Einstein only got 1 line about his death. He died of heart failure. Game over. But for her, she had 2 paragraphs about how she died. Alright, so you know that it's significant when they give it lots of words. Many words means it's important. Alright. Are there any questions? Anything? Next. Here's the boys and girls. I'm going to give you something quick. Please put your name on this. Uh-oh. There we are. I'm going to get a lot of great stuff today. So excited. Alright, who won the Nobel Prize, by the way? Nobel Peace Prize. Who? What's his name? Albert, sure. You got the first name correct. What's his last name? I'll leave it up to you to determine. What is this guy's last name? The guy who won the Nobel Peace Prize last week, his first name is Albert. Al, for short. Yes, Timothy. Angus, can you turn it off? Alright. Yes, thank you. Does anyone need anything else? Please put your name on this. And thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to talk about prepositions now. If you turn over to page 2, we use a lot of prepositions in biographies to talk about time and to talk about place. Boys and girls, now I'm just asking you a question just before we even begin. How can you learn prepositions? Can you, because I know in Chinese that you don't necessarily have prepositions and you use them in a particular way. Prepositions are unique to English. Alright? In, on, at, before, after, since, for. These are unique to English. How can you learn these things? Can you memorize them? Dexter. Yes, give yourself a thing. It's difficult to really memorize how to use prepositions well, because even native speakers don't use prepositions well. The only way really is to learn how to use them well is what Dexter said. You read books, you see prepositions, you become familiar with them. Mr. Wu was not taught prepositions like you are being taught prepositions right now. I just read a lot. And you see the prepositions a lot, and then you start becoming familiar with them. There really is no way to memorize how to use them. Alright? It's just becoming familiar and comfortable with using them. So we're going to become, hopefully, familiar and comfortable with using prepositions of time and place. Boys and girls, just to begin, can you give me a few prepositions while we're starting? Yes, Stephanie.
In.
In. All right, give yourself a tick. We'll move across. Keith. On. All right. Give yourself a tick. We'll move over there. Haley. From. Good. Give yourself a tick. Yes, Timothy. At. Give yourself a tick. Prudence. After. And Cherry. Of. Okay. So these are just a few examples of prepositions. All right. These are just a few examples. But now we want to focus on prepositions of time. So, boys and girls, do me a favor. Turn to page 2. In these boxes over here, and using the biographies of the people that you have read. We've read Albert Einstein. We've read Marie Curie. Who else have we read? Alexander Graham Bell. Is that it? 3 people? Okay. So we've read 3 people. Look through their biographies. You're looking for time. Alright, years and dates. What kinds of prepositions do you see? In these boxes over here, perhaps you want to write down some of these prepositional phrases, these expressions, using time and a preposition. Alright? So for example, in the biography that we've just read, one thing that perhaps I would write down here is, see this? Marie Curie was born in Poland in 1867. In 1867. I would perhaps write that over here in these boxes. You have a time and you have a preposition used together. Alright? So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You can work together. You want to pour through these biographies. You want to look for dates, years, times, numbers in general, and you want to see which prepositions are used with these times. And then you want to put those expressions in this box. And then we'll see which prepositions we generally use for time. Okay, go ahead. Take 5 minutes. You can talk to each other. Oh, good question. Boys and girls, you don't need to write the sentence, write the phrase. So in 1890, maybe you want to write that down, okay? Give me different examples of prepositions being used with time. All right, different examples. So look through your biographies.